New arrivals just hit Aldi shelves, and they are already disappearing. 15 items landed this week that deserve your full attention before Friday arrives and finds the shelf empty. Health products, kitchen tools, home comfort items, garden essentials, every single one priced in a way that former employees describe as generating genuine shelf-clearing urgency. Here is everything that arrived this week, starting with number 15. 15. The adjustable bed wedge pillow with cooling gel acid reflux, sleep apnea symptoms, and the circulation challenges that worsen when lying flat are among the most common nighttime discomforts affecting the senior population. And elevation therapy through a properly designed wedge pillow addresses all three simultaneously through a single piece of bedroom equipment that requires no behavioral change beyond where you place your head at night. This week's arrival delivers a multi-angle adjustable wedge with a cooling gel memory foam layer that prevents the heat retention. Most foam wedge pillows produce across a full night of use. The adjustable angle accommodates everything from gentle elevation for mild reflux to the steeper positioning that sleep specialists recommend for more significant symptoms, meaning the same pillow serves a senior whose needs change over time without requiring a replacement purchase. The cooling gel layer specifically addresses a complaint that former employees say keeps many seniors from using standard foam wedges consistently. Conventional memory foam traps body heat throughout the night, producing the uncomfortable warmth that disrupts the very sleep the elevation was supposed to improve. The gel infusion in this week's arrival dissipates that heat actively, maintaining a sleep surface temperature that supports rather than undermines sleep continuity. That was sleep comfort addressed mechanically. What arrived at number 14 is a kitchen tool that former employees say generated more excited conversation on the sales floor than almost anything else delivered this week. 14. The digital food scale with nutrition tracking display portion awareness matters enormously for seniors managing diabetes, kidney disease, or any condition requiring precise dietary tracking. And the gap between estimating portions visually and measuring them accurately is often the difference between a dietary plan that works and one that quietly fails without the senior ever understanding why their numbers are not improving. This week's digital food scale arrival includes a built-in nutrition database covering thousands of common foods, displaying calories, sodium, carbohydrates, and protein automatically when an item is weighed. The tariff function and the large high-contrast display address two specific senior usability concerns that cheaper scales typically ignore entirely. Many digital scales on the market use small, low-contrast displays that are genuinely difficult to read for seniors managing vision changes, and this week's version was specifically designed around larger numerals and a backlit screen that addresses that gap directly. Former employees describe watching seniors who had been managing diabetes for years through visual portion estimation discover, after using this scale for the first time, that their estimated portions were consistently larger than they believed, explaining blood sugar patterns that had previously seemed inconsistent with their reported eating habits. That was precision brought to the kitchen counter. What arrived at number 13 addresses something that affects nearly every senior household, and that former employees describe as one of the most practically necessary items in this week's full delivery. 13. The non-slip bath mat set with suction grip technology bathroom falls account for a disproportionate share of senior injury incidents. And the bath mat sitting in most senior bathrooms today is often years old, worn smooth on its underside, and providing far less grip than it did when new, to a degradation that happens so gradually most seniors never notice it occurring until a near miss or an actual fall reveals how compromised the mat had become. This week's arrival delivers a two-piece set, a full tub mat, and a smaller bath rug, both using a suction grip technology that maintains adhesion to wet tile and porcelain surfaces significantly longer than standard rubber-backed alternatives. The drainage hole pattern prevents the water pooling underneath that causes standard mats to lift and slide, a failure mode that occurs specifically at the moment a senior is stepping out of the tub or shower and is at their most physically vulnerable. Former employees describe this as the kind of unglamorous but genuinely important arrival that deserves more attention than its position on a shelf typically receives. Replacing a worn bath mat is a 5-minute task, with outsized safety implications, and the price this week makes that 5-minute task essentially free relative to the injury risk it addresses. That was bathroom safety quietly upgraded. What arrived at number 12 takes garden enthusiasm in a direction most seniors did not expect from this week's delivery. 12. The self-watering hanging basket system. Hanging baskets deliver beautiful seasonal color without requiring ground-level bending, making them one of the most senior-accessible forms of ornamental gardening available. The watering demand they create, however, has historically limited their practicality for seniors managing energy and mobility constraints, particularly during the peak summer heat, when hanging baskets often require daily watering just to survive the day. This week's self-watering hanging basket arrival includes a built-in reservoir extending the watering interval to 7 to 10 days under normal conditions, eliminating the daily watering task that conventional hanging baskets require during peak summer heat. The reservoir fill indicator is visible without lifting or tilting the basket, addressing a specific physical concern for seniors who would otherwise need to remove a heavy water-saturated basket from its hook just to check the water level. The wicking mechanism inside the reservoir delivers water to the root system through capillary action at the precise rate the plant requires, rather than the all-at-once soaking that manual watering produces, and that can actually stress plant roots through the wet-dry cycling that inconsistent manual watering creates. The result is not just convenience, but genuinely healthier plant growth across the full growing season. That was ornamental gardening made sustainable. What arrived at number 11 is a health monitoring item that former employees say generated the most immediate purchasing decisions of anything delivered this week. 11. The digital blood pressure monitor. With irregular heartbeat alert, home blood pressure monitoring is recommended for the majority of seniors managing hypertension, and the irregular heartbeat detection feature in this week's arrival extends that monitoring capability to flag potential arrhythmia episodes during routine daily measurements, a detection capability that until recently required specialized cardiac monitoring equipment rather than a standard home blood pressure cuff. The large backlit display addresses the readability concern that smaller monitors create for seniors with vision changes, and the single-button operation eliminates the multi-step process that some competing devices require, reducing the opportunity for measurement error that occurs when a confusing interface produces an incorrectly executed reading. The memory function stores the previous 60 readings, providing the trend data that single measurements cannot deliver and that physicians increasingly request when adjusting blood pressure medication. Since a single office reading captures only a moment while 60 home readings capture genuine patterns across daily life, the irregular heartbeat indicator specifically flags readings taken during potential atrial fibrillation episodes, a condition that is frequently asymptomatic in its early stages and that can progress silently until it produces a stroke or other serious cardiac event. A home device that can flag this pattern during a routine morning measurement provides genuinely valuable early warning information that a senior would otherwise have no way of detecting between scheduled physician visits. If this week's arrivals are already filling your Aldi shopping list, hit that like button right now. Every item on this list arrived within days and will not stay on the shelf indefinitely. One tap on like, do it now. Because what arrived at number 10 addresses a kitchen task that seniors managing arthritis had been struggling with for years, and this week's solution finally gives them genuine relief. 10. The one-touch electric jar and can opener combination grip strength decline is one of the most universal physical changes of aging, and the kitchen tasks requiring sustained grip pressure, opening jars and cans specifically, become genuinely difficult years before most seniors are willing to discuss the limitation openly, often working around the problem quietly rather than asking for help or seeking out adaptive tools. This week's combination unit operates both functions through a single motorized mechanism requiring only light placement pressure rather than sustained grip or twisting force. The can opener function operates hands-free after initial positioning, cutting cleanly around the can lid without leaving the sharp exposed edge that manual openers frequently produce, an added safety benefit beyond the grip strength accommodation. The jar opener uses adjustable torque to accommodate everything from small condiment jars to large pickle jars, without requiring the senior to apply any rotational force themselves. Former employees describe watching seniors test this unit in the aisle and immediately understand what it would mean for their daily kitchen independence, often purchasing it within minutes of first seeing it demonstrated. One former employee recalled a customer who had been quietly asking neighbors to open jars for her for nearly 2 years before discovering this product, describing visible relief at no longer needing to depend on others for something so basic to daily cooking. That was kitchen independence restored directly. What arrived at number 9 is a comfort item that former employees describe as one of the most quietly significant arrivals of the entire week. 9. The heated massaging foot spa with bubble function circulation challenges. In the lower extremities affect the majority of seniors to some degree, producing the cold feet, mild swelling, and general discomfort that many older adults manage silently. Because the conditions feel minor individually, even as they accumulate into genuine daily discomfort that quietly limits how much time seniors spend on their feet. This week's heated foot spa arrival combines water, heating, maintenance vibration, massage rollers, and a bubble function that together address circulation, support, muscle tension relief, and simple relaxation in a single unit, requiring nothing more than filling with warm water and sitting down. The heating element maintains water temperature throughout the soak rather than allowing it to cool, which conventional foot baths without active heating allow to happen within minutes, undermining the circulation benefit that warm water immersion is meant to provide. The vibration rollers positioned along the base of the unit provide a mechanical massage to the arch and heel that mimics manual foot massage, addressing the tension that accumulates in the feet from daily standing and walking. For seniors managing diabetic neuropathy, specifically, the combination of warmth and gentle massage can improve circulation in ways that support better sensation and reduce the risk factors associated with poor lower extremity blood flow, though anyone with diabetic neuropathy should check water temperature carefully given potential reduced sensation. Subscribe to this channel right now. Before we continue, every single week, we track the new arrivals hitting Aldi shelves, the timing windows that matter most, and the product intelligence that helps seniors get the most from every single visit. 8. The motion-activated LED nightlight multi-pack nighttime bathroom trips represent one of the highest risk activities for senior falls, occurring in low-light conditions when the senior is often still partially asleep and navigating a familiar space without full alertness or visual clarity. A combination that turns an ordinary walk down a hallway into a genuine fall risk. Every single night. This week's nightlight multi-pack uses motion-activated LED technology that illuminates automatically when movement is detected, eliminating the need to locate and operate a switch in the dark, a task that itself requires the kind of spatial memory and fine motor coordination that can be unreliable in the middle of the night. The light output is calibrated bright enough for safe navigation, while remaining dim enough to avoid the full alertness disruption that bright overhead lighting produces, preserving the ability to fall back asleep quickly after the bathroom trip concludes, rather than triggering the kind of wakefulness that makes returning to sleep difficult. Former employees describe this multi-pack as one of the simplest and most universally applicable safety purchases available in any given week's rotation, relevant to literally every senior household, regardless of specific health circumstances. That was nighttime safety, addressed simply. What arrived at number 7 is a kitchen appliance that former employees describe generating genuine excitement among the home cooking community this week. 7. The compact air fryer toaster oven combination, counter space and energy efficiency are practical concerns that affect every senior kitchen, and the combination appliance category addresses both by consolidating multiple cooking functions into a single unit, rather than requiring separate dedicated appliances for each of which would otherwise occupy its own counter footprint and its own storage space when not in use. This week's arrival combines air frying, toasting, baking, and broiling functions in a compact footprint sized appropriately for 1 or 2 person cooking, rather than the family-sized capacity that larger combination units typically default to, and that most senior households genuinely do not need. The reduced preheat time and shorter cooking duration compared to a full-sized oven matter specifically for seniors managing energy costs and the standing time that oven cooking traditionally requires, since standing at a hot oven for extended preheat periods is a genuine physical burden that a faster heating compact unit reduces significantly. The digital control panel uses large, clearly labeled function buttons, rather than the small icon-based touchscreens that some competing combination appliances use. A deliberate design choice that former employees say makes the unit considerably more approachable for seniors who find unfamiliar digital interfaces frustrating or confusing. Former employees describe this unit as particularly well-suited to seniors who have downsized their living situation and need appliances that match a smaller kitchen footprint without sacrificing cooking versatility, allowing a senior in a smaller apartment or assisted living unit to still prepare a genuine range of home-cooked meals. That was kitchen efficiency consolidated intelligently. What arrived at number 6 is a health product that the senior wellness community has been specifically requesting, and this week, Aldi delivered it. 6. The compression recovery sleeve set for knees and elbows joint discomfort during daily activity affects the majority of seniors managing some degree of osteoarthritis, and targeted compression support for the specific joints experiencing the most strain provides mechanical stability and improved circulation that reduces discomfort during activity without requiring medication, addressing the problem through mechanical support rather than pharmaceutical intervention. This week's arrival includes both knee and elbow compression sleeves in graduated compression specifications with moisture-wicking fabric that makes all-day wear comfortable, rather than the irritating experience that lower-quality compression garments often produce, particularly during warmer months when a poorly ventilated sleeve becomes uncomfortable within an hour of wear. The sleeves are designed for active use, supporting gardening, walking, and daily household tasks, rather than purely passive rest application, meaning the compression continues providing benefit throughout the activities that actually trigger joint discomfort in the first place. The graduated compression specification matters clinically, providing the tightest compression at the joint itself and gradually decreasing pressure moving outward, a pattern that supports venous return and reduces the swelling that often accompanies joint overuse without restricting blood flow in ways that uniform compression products sometimes do. Former employees described this set selling to seniors who specifically mentioned ongoing joint discomfort while shopping, several purchasing both the knee and elbow versions simultaneously once they understood the mechanical support the compression provides for the specific activities that had been causing them the most trouble. That was joint support delivered. Practically, what arrived at number 5 is a grocery item that the senior nutrition community has been celebrating since it appeared on shelves this week. 5. The wild-caught Alaskan salmon, burger patty salmon, delivers the omega-3 fatty acid content that cardiovascular and cognitive health research consistently prioritizes for senior dietary recommendations. And the burger patty format arriving this week addresses the preparation barrier that whole fillets sometimes present for seniors who find filleted fish preparation time-consuming or intimidating, particularly the deboning and skin removal steps that deter many people from cooking fish at home regularly. These wild-caught salmon patties require nothing beyond pan searing or air frying, delivering the same omega-3 nutritional profile as a salmon fillet in a format that integrates as easily into a weeknight meal as a conventional burger would, complete with the option to serve on a bun, over a salad, or alongside vegetables, depending on dietary preference. The patty format also produces consistent portion sizes, removing the visual estimation that fillet preparation requires and that often leads to inconsistent serving amounts. The wild-caught sourcing specifically matters for nutritional quality. Wild salmon delivers a different and generally more favorable fatty acid profile than many farmed alternatives, alongside the absence of the antibiotic and feed concerns that affect some lower-cost farmed seafood options. Former employees describe this arrival as the kind of product that converts seniors who know they should eat more fish but find preparation a barrier into consistent salmon consumers, simply by removing the preparation friction that whole fish presents and allowing them to eat the recommended 2 to 3 servings of fatty fish per week without the dread that fish preparation sometimes produces. That was nutrition made convenient without compromise. What arrived at number 4 is a home comfort item that former employees say is already generating the kind of word-of-mouth excitement that empties shelves within days. 4. The heated throw blanket with adjustable temperature zones. Thermal regulation challenges affect the majority of seniors whose reduced metabolic heat generation makes maintaining comfortable warmth during evening relaxation genuinely difficult even in adequately heated homes. A discomfort that often goes unaddressed because seniors simply layer more clothing rather than seeking out a targeted heating solution. This week's heated throw blanket arrival includes 3 independently controllable heat zones, allowing different parts of the body to receive different temperature settings simultaneously, along with an automatic shut-off safety feature and machine-washable construction that addresses the practical maintenance concern that keeps many seniors from purchasing heated bedding products, out of fear that the electrical components make the blanket impossible to clean properly. The independent zone control specifically allows a senior to keep their feet warmer than their upper body, or vice versa, accommodating the uneven circulation patterns that many older adults experience. The automatic shut-off feature addresses a genuine safety concern around heated bedding products and electrical fire risk, deactivating the heating elements after a set period of continuous use, or if the blanket detects an abnormal fold pattern that could indicate a safety hazard developing. Former employees describe this item as particularly valued by seniors managing conditions like Raynaud's phenomenon or general circulation-related cold sensitivity, where the targeted heating zones provide relief that a single temperature heating pad cannot match. Since a heating pad addresses only one localized area, while this throw blanket provides distributed, adjustable warmth across the entire body. That was personalized warmth delivered intelligently. What arrived at number 3 is a kitchen staple that nutritionists specifically recommend, and this week's pricing makes it one of the most quietly important arrivals on the entire list. 3. The organic extra virgin olive oil. Family-size extra virgin olive oil represents one of the most well-supported daily dietary interventions for cardiovascular health, and the family-size format arriving this week delivers the certified organic, a cold-pressed standard at a per-ounce price that makes daily generous use financially automatic rather than something to ration carefully out of budget concern. The polyphenol content in properly certified extra virgin olive oil, specifically the oleocanthal compound, operating through the same anti-inflammatory pathway as ibuprofen, makes this week's arrival relevant to virtually every senior managing inflammatory conditions, cardiovascular risk, or simply seeking to cook with the highest quality daily fat available. The Predime study and the substantial body of research following it have established extra virgin olive oil as one of the central components of the dietary pattern most consistently associated with reduced cardiovascular events in older populations. The family-size format specifically addresses the rationing behavior that smaller bottle sizes inadvertently encourage. When olive oil is purchased in small quantities at a higher per-ounce cost, there is a natural tendency to use it sparingly to extend its lifespan, which works against the daily generous use that the cardiovascular research actually recommends. A larger format at a lower per-ounce price removes that psychological barrier entirely. Former employees describe the family-size format selling quickly to seniors who have been buying smaller bottles more frequently, and immediately recognize the per-ounce savings the larger format represents, several mentioning that they had simply never considered buying the larger size before seeing the price comparison laid out clearly on the shelf. That was a daily health habit made more affordable. What arrived at number 2 addresses something that former employees describe as one of the most consequential health gaps in the senior population, delivered this week at a price that removes every barrier to addressing it. 2. The vitamin D3 and K2 combination. Supplement vitamin D deficiency affects approximately 70% of adults over 65, with downstream consequences spanning bone density, immune function, cardiovascular health, and cognitive performance. The K2 component in this week's arrival, in the MK7 form, specifically directs the calcium absorption that vitamin D3 increases toward bone mineralization rather than arterial calcification, addressing the complete intervention that clinical nutritionists increasingly recommend, rather than the incomplete approach that vitamin D3 alone represents, and that many seniors have been following for years without realizing a key complementary nutrient was missing. This week's combination delivers both nutrients at therapeutic doses in a single daily capsule, at a price representing a fraction of what pharmacy retail charges for either component individually, let alone the properly formulated combination that most pharmacy shelves do not even stock together in the correct ratio. The reasons behind the widespread deficiency are structural rather than simply dietary. Reduced skin synthesis efficiency means the sun exposure that produces adequate vitamin D in younger adults produces significantly less in aging skin. Reduced outdoor time compounds the synthesis deficit further. Dietary sources of vitamin D are limited primarily to fatty fish and fortified foods in amounts that rarely meet the elevated requirements that older bodies present, making supplementation a genuinely necessary intervention rather than an optional add-on for most seniors. Former employees describe this arrival generating the kind of decisive purchasing behavior that occurs when a senior immediately recognizes both the clinical significance of the formulation and the price advantage relative to what they have been paying elsewhere. Desti, mentioning that they bought multiple bottles on the spot once they confirmed the K2 form and dosage matched what their physician had recommended. 1. Arrival remains, and former employees across the store describe it as the single most important item to land on shelves this week, relevant to nearly every senior household regardless of specific health circumstances. 1. The Emergency Medical Alert Pendant with Fall Detection Independence is the outcome seniors value above nearly every other quality of life consideration. And the greatest threat to that independence is the combination of living alone with no reliable mechanism for summoning help during a medical emergency. A vulnerability that many seniors are aware of but have postponed addressing because of the cost and subscription complexity that conventional medical alert systems require. Or this week's arrival delivers automatic fall detection through accelerometer technology, an emergency call button requiring no precise targeting, and two-way voice communication with emergency response coordination, all in a single wearable pendant requiring no monthly subscription commitment for its core hardware functions. The genuine departure from the business model that has defined this product category for decades. The fall detection capability matters specifically because it addresses the scenario where a senior loses consciousness or becomes physically unable to activate the device manually after a fall, automatically initiating the emergency response sequence without requiring any action from the senior after the incident occurs. This scenario, a fall severe enough to prevent manual activation, is precisely the situation where conventional push-button-only medical alert devices fail to provide protection, since they depend entirely on the wearer's ability to act after already being incapacitated. The two-way voice communication built into the pendant itself, rather than requiring a separate base station within range, means the device functions throughout the home and yard, rather than being limited to rooms near a base unit, addressing a significant limitation of older medical alert technology that restricted seniors to staying near their base station to remain protected. Former employees describe this as the arrival they most want every senior shopping this week to know about, because the health stakes involved are higher than anything else on this list, and the price accessibility removes the barrier that has historically kept comparable devices out of reach for seniors on fixed incomes who needed exactly this kind of protection but could never justify the ongoing subscription cost that competing products required. That is everything that arrived at Aldi this week. 15 items. Every one worth seeing before the shelf tells you that you waited too long. Thanks for watching. If you found these new arrivals helpful, let us know in the comments which one you are heading to Aldi for first. Click the video on the left to see our complete breakdown of the Aldi finds disappearing fastest this season, and make sure you never miss what shows up next.